Hello, this is the second revision of one of my videos. I deleted a couple of my videos because I thought they were crappy, so yeah. Even though I shouldn't do that anymore. I'll just keep all the videos, and yeah, I promise I won't delete any more videos. Okay, so I'm doing a video about anyone who has a child or sibling or cousin or parent or student with a vision loss. Okay, so treat them as if you would treat a normal child. Okay, don't ever treat them differently because they have a disability. Okay. Okay, so if people don't learn how to cope with their disabilities, they're gonna see that as a disability instead of a disadvantage. Like a visual impairment, I think of it as an obstacle instead of a disability. And also, it's important for people to learn how to take the public transit, and yeah, in order to be independent. So those of you who are parents of visually impaired children, and I understand that you guys are busy. You're not always gonna have time to drive them around, especially when they're in college, for example. You know, when they get to college, they gotta learn how they have to already know how to take the public transit. Yeah, so I hope the lighting's okay, and I still hope you'll be able to still see me. Yeah, I know a lot of my videos were kind of dark. Yeah, so I promise not to delete any more of my videos, okay? No matter how crappy the lighting is. Okay, so yeah, are you concerned about your visually impaired your visually impaired daughter or son handling things in the kitchen? Well, it's normal to feel concerned about that, but with training from an independent living skills specialist from the CNIB or whatever agency you have, like they will learn how to manage themselves in the kitchen safely, like learning how to use the stove safely, learning how to cut using the knife safely without cutting themselves. Yeah. And so there's screen readers for people who aren't able to read print, like me. I'm pretty much almost blind in my right eye, and I'm partially sighted on my left eye, but I don't have enough vision to read the text on the screen, so I use a screen reader called JAWS on my computer. JAWS is so annoying. It sounds so robotic. I'm sure you probably yeah, I'll do my best to make this video more like clear. I know the audio's clear, but the visual, just a visual, you know. I just want to make sure people see what I'm doing. So, yeah. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, so again, like when you're visually impaired or blind, daughter or son or cousin, whoever goes off to college, it's important for them to learn how to be independent and fit in with the sighted world, okay? Yeah, so So the professors aren't gonna treat them any different, you know? The great thing is that there's accommodations for people with disabilities, but you got to apply for them, and you got to have a doctor sign a form. So I'm gonna do that next Thursday. Yeah, so I'm excited to go to Grant MacEwan University. Yay me! I hope I get accepted. Yeah, and I also play the piano, and I have to prepare for my piano exam, and I'm stressed out right now about it, and I've been practicing hardcore, like crazy. And yeah, I hope to register, and the deadline for me to register is November 6th of this year, and I'm doing my grade 7 exam. It's a practicum exam. Yeah, and I can't wait to go into grade 8. So I hope the lighting is better. I used my lamp to do the lighting. Okay, so yeah, back to the visually impaired person topic. Okay, so here's a story that I'm gonna tell you. Okay, so when I was a 16-year-old girl in my first year of high school, I was in grade 10. My mom was very overprotective of me, so pretty much through most of my life. So yeah, at 12 I was not allowed to use the stove, and I could only microwave, and yeah, but I was allowed to stay home by myself. My mom was concerned about me taking the public transit by myself because she was afraid that I would get lost, and because I'm visually impaired. So yeah, so when I was in grade 11, I tried to take the transit. I was too scared to tell my mom because she was overprotective of me. And yeah. So my dad found out a year later, like when I was 17 years old, and he was asking me, like, why are you taking the regular transit? As I stood beside the bus stop, and I told him, I just want to give it a try, Dad. I want to learn how to be independent. And my dad was like, okay, I understand that. Okay, so he understood why I was taking the transit before my mom did, and I tried to rush her into getting used to me taking the transit. Okay, so yeah, the scariest thing one time was getting lost for a couple hours. It was during the winter too of my grade 12 year. Yeah, so the reason why I didn't call my school is because I thought I knew where I was going, but obviously I was not. I didn't even know where I was going, like, you know. But now whenever I get lost, I stay still. I don't wander off, especially if it's an unfamiliar place. So, yeah. But yeah, just remember, like, just tell your children to call you for whenever you're lost, or ask someone for help. You know, most people are very helpful, but you know, for those of you who are visually impaired or blind, you guys are an easier target. So yeah, so you're more likely to be taken advantage of. So yeah, just be extra careful, okay? Because you don't know what they have in their hand. You don't know what they're doing. So yeah, those of you who can't see what they're doing. So yeah, So my aide told me this story about this guy who was totally blind. He got $20 stolen by 3 Aboriginal people, and he was going to he was LRTing, and he was like 12 years old. You know, it's just very scary, you know. I don't like the world is a very cruel place. So yeah, so it's important to be very cautious in the real world, because you don't know what people's intentions are. Yeah, those of you, I'm saying this to everyone, including sighted people, people with disabilities, people without disabilities. Yeah, whatever, you know? Okay, so back to my busing story. Okay, so I would take the bus home by myself, and I would tell my mom, like, at first I took DATS before I started taking the transit. So DATS stands for Disabled Adult Transit Service. It's for people 16 or older who have a permanent disability. So yeah, so DATS is a door-to-door service, but not the most reliable. So I took DATS when I was like 17 years old before I took the transit. Yeah. So yeah. Again, buses have their ups and downs. They're not the most reliable either, especially on weekends. But yeah, they're very reliable when it comes to, you know, like, because, you know, in the mornings they come every 15 minutes when students go to school, you know, which is great. That's why I want to start classes in the morning. Okay, so I'm off topic, okay? Okay, so when my mom found out that I was taking the transit and I didn't want to take the school bus anymore, I took the school bus for almost 3 years of my high school years and junior high years. My mom found out I didn't take the school bus anymore because I told her, and she's like, why aren't you taking the yellow bus? I don't understand. And she was very overprotective. She told me to phone the bus company to get me back on the yellow bus, and I'm like, there's no point, you know. She didn't understand, but my dad understood. He was like, it's up to you if you want to take the transit or not. So yeah. So yeah, now that I look back, I feel like I've rushed my mom into trying to get used to taking the transit, you know, trying to get used to me taking the transit, like, you know, like I didn't give her enough time, and yeah, but eventually she got used to it and she's cool with me taking the transit. Just as long as it's not in the winter and it's really, really cold and she's concerned. That's about all, which is very reasonable. Okay, so yeah, I know for like you parents who have newborn babies and you just found out that they can't see, or they're legally blind or whatever, or they have other disability, and it's normal to feel guilty that way. So don't feel guilty if they have a disability, okay? Try to help them cope with a disability as they're growing up. Yeah. Yeah, so don't feel guilty. Don't treat them any differently. Don't think it's your fault because they have a disability, you know? Yeah, because it's not always your fault because they have a disability. Okay, so yeah, like today I'm a very lucky woman. I'm so glad that I lived to learn how to cope with my disability, which I see as an obstacle more than a disability. The reason why I see it as an obstacle because it prevents me from achieving some of my goals, such as getting a driver's license, which I really want to do so bad. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so I'll do what I can to make it so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay? Yeah, so I'm trying to look at the camera as I'm talking. Okay, so yeah. You shouldn't pamper any of your children, even though they have just because they have a visual impairment. Because, you know, I find that it doesn't solve the problem by pampering your children. You know, like it just makes them stay immature. It doesn't make them mature. Like, you know, if you treat them if you treat them their age and you set high standard goals for them, then they'll be able to achieve them and, you know, be as normal as possible. You know. Like, especially for those who want to go into college or want to have a job, you know? Yeah, so I've never been to college before, so it's going to be so exciting. And it's going to be, I'm so, you know, I'm so anxious to go to college. And I'm so anxious about passing my piano exam. Yeah. Which is going to be exciting for me. Yeah, so I haven't registered yet. I have to go on a website to register. Yeah, so I hope the lighting is way better so you can see me better. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say for today. Thanks for watching. And I hope I helped you guys enough about visual impairment. So, bye.